that's the case, you must have been flipping through all sorts of books during our adventure these past few months. Before going to Mondstadt, you had just looked at some vague materials. Later, we managed to gather a whole bunch of old books from all around Mondstadt and Liyue, but you told Paimon they were useless. So, the whole time you were just trying to learn more about Conria so you could find your brother? Oh, yeah. You can travel around the 7 nations to find the 7. But where can you go to find a nation that was destroyed 500 years ago?
I probably know more about Conria than both of you. Conria was a nation without a god. Not because it had a god that died or abandoned them, but because it never had a god to begin with. It was a powerful nation, built purely by humans. An unprecedented, flourishing, and glorious civilization. It was the pride of humankind.
A nation without a god?
Later events unfolded just as you remember. It was all destroyed by gods.
You mean that...
500 years ago, the gods descended upon the world and brought desolation to Conria. The pride of humankind was uprooted and crushed, like a weed removed from the garden of the gods.
How could that be? The history books don't say anything about that.
Yes, well, continuing to discuss the past now will only dampen our spirits. Let's keep moving. I will tell you more of what you want to know as we continue our search.
Over there! It's more ruin guards and abyss mages. Dane was just saying how these ancient machines are from Conria. So, did Conria have a lot of ruins that needed to be guarded?
No. Ruin Guard is the name modern people have given these machines. No one called them that 500 years ago. These ruin guards were known as field tillers by the people of Conria.
Field tillers? What a strange name.
It's not like you think. Field tiller was just a code name. The people of Conria like to give code names to their weapons. The land is not to be tilled with farming tools, but rather is to be fought for with steel and blood. This is how the field tiller came about.
Fought for with steel and blood? Well, that's an interesting way of understanding tilling. Paimon doesn't think it's a very positive interpretation.
After the destruction of Conria, these masterless field tillers went completely out of control. They wandered aimlessly over the centuries, gradually spreading to every corner of Teyvat. Perhaps resonating with the sorrow of other civilizations lost to time, they found their way to various ruins across the land, where they lie dormant.
Well, that sounds so sad.
Once you understand more, those details won't mean much to you. But no matter their past, all that remains of them now is the danger they pose. So destroy them all.
Huh? This abyss mage dropped a talisman. Could it be a communication of some kind?
This talisman seems connected to the Abyss Herald. But why would an Abyss mage be carrying it? Perhaps it really does contain information about their operation.
But Paimon can't read the writing on it. Is that the script of Conria?
Engulf the faith of the enemy in flame, and bring glory to His Highness the Prince.
What? Is that what it says?
Loom of Fate, initial operation. The Abyss, seem to be carrying out a large operation. The keyword here is Loom of Fate. It seems like they are still launching the operation, or rather, are still conducting preliminary tests.
Loom of Fate? What's that? Is it literally a fate-weaving machine? From the horrible feeling Paimon's been getting, those eerie ruins are super likely to be related to this fate-weaving operation. So, Dane, what message does this talisman contain?
I'm reading it now. An ambitious operation. But some parts are difficult to understand.
How so?
In short, the first phase of the plan is related to Osile, Overlord of the Vortex.
The Overlord of the Vortex? You mean that god in the ocean? What do they want with Osile?
I know of your past heroics regarding Dvalin, and I also know of the Abyss Order's role in the Storm Terror incident. Though you may not have been aware of it at the time, you were thwarting an Abyss Order operation similar to this one.
Last time it was Venti's old friend. This time it's a huge ancient god. The Abyss Order keeps setting their sights higher and higher. Will the Abyss Order use their lies and dark magic to corrupt Osile, just as they did Dvalin?
No. From the contents of the talisman, this operation goes one step further. They won't just corrupt Osile's mind. They also plan to use the ancient technology behind the field tillers to completely transform Osile's body.
Is that even possible? So wait, the Abyss Order wants to make some sort of cybernetic squid god of mass destruction?
Very few people today truly understand the civilization of Khaenri'ah. Though, of course, the accuracy of that understanding itself is difficult to judge. Only the Abyss Order has consistently sought out the remnants of Khaenri'ah. Despite being far from human, they seek out this lost human civilization quite persistently. The talisman's message states that they will use the defiled statue as a base, attaching Osile's limbs to construct a mechanized god. And the new core that shall replace the orb usually held by the Statue of the Seven is the eye of the very first field tiller.
The eye of the very first field tiller? Oh, Paimon gets it! All those Abyss mages are looking for the special eye, right?
It would seem so.
This whole thing keeps getting more complicated. But basically, it all has to do with that eerie Statue of the Seven we saw, right?
Yes. According to the talisman, the eye should be placed in the hands of the defiled statue, thereby imbuing the newly born god with the power to topple the divine thrones of Celestia.
Oh boy, the Abyss Order sure isn't holding back with this plan. Since no one knows where the first field tiller is, how about we take the information about the statue as the starting point for our investigation? Yeah, that tone-deaf bard is too difficult to track down anyway. Let's go to the cathedral first and ask around. Maybe we'll learn something.
The cathedral.
Huh? What's the matter, Dane?
Nothing. Let's get moving. A huge statue. A grandiose cathedral. The people of Mondstadt clearly spent a great deal of resources and energy to construct them. But how aware of this was the Animal Archon on receiving this gift? And how much did he give back in return?
Faith doesn't ask for anything in return, though, does it?
As long as the gods have a clear conscience about it all, there's nothing I can say about it.
Shh! We're about to enter the cathedral! Don't say anything bad about the Animal Archon. And actually, the Animal Archon is... never mind.
I never specifically said I would enter the cathedral. I'll leave you two to mingle with the sisters.
Huh?
You are the honorary Knight of Mondstadt. They will surely allow you to poke into these affairs with their utmost trust. Having me tag along would only make them suspicious. Correct. And just as our little friend said, I might say something bad about the church at any time. When a non-believer steps onto holy ground, the result is never pretty. I have never received the favor of the gods in the past. I don't see any reason I would need it now, or in the future either. That's enough about that. While we've been chit-chatting, the Abyss Order continues to act.
Okay, then we'll just go in ourselves and ask around.
I should warn you about one thing. Don't go mentioning the defiled statue inside the cathedral. The Church of Favonius wouldn't ignore the matter of the statue, but if they rashly tried anything against the Abyss Order, it would only ruin whatever element of surprise we may have. Also, meddling in the affairs of the Abyss usually doesn't end well for anyone.
Honorary Knight! Hi, how have you been? Do you need anything today? But I should first make it clear that if you need to borrow the Holy Lyre to Hermel again, we cannot oblige.
It seems she hasn't realized it's just an illusion. Oh, we're here to ask some questions about something. Barbara, have you heard about the first field tiller?
What's that? Field tiller. What does it do?
Of course you wouldn't know anything about that. Okay, next question. Has the church ever lost a statue of the Seven?
Huh? You're here to ask about that old story? Well, I didn't expect that. That was such a long time ago, barely anyone mentions it nowadays. A long time ago, there was indeed one statue of the Seven that disappeared one night without a trace. Nearly every member of the church joined the search for it, but it was never found. In the church's records, as you might assume, this incident has been called the Lost Statue of the Seven.
Of course!
Of course?
Nothing? So do you have any other clues? Paimon means any other strange stories? Sorry, Barbara, but we can't tell you about the statue we saw just yet. Like Dane said outside, it's for your own good.
Other strange stories? I'm not sure. Let me think about what other unusual incidents are in the church's records. Oh, the Tyrant's Final Fury? No, that's from another time. Probably unrelated.
The Tyrant's Final Fury?
Oh, this refers to a time of great danger that engulfed Old Mondstadt, the place now known as Storm Terror's lair. Many, many years ago, there was a time when balls of fire would rain from the sky whenever anyone approached Old Mondstadt.
Balls of fire raining from the sky? How terrifying!
People at that time believed it was a curse laid down by the god of storms, so they referred to it as the Tyrant's Final Fury. This strange phenomenon continued for about a year. No one was ever able to solve it. It just gradually ceased on its own. Right. Later, the theory of the Tyrant's Final Fury became less probable in the eyes of the church. Common reasoning dictates that the god of storms wouldn't shoot fireballs.